Well, good morning, everyone. Decided to do a little video from the studio in the woods. Early spring, migratory birds are starting to show up. So got my Lumix 100-3 with me. Still really not long enough, even at that 600 millimeter equivalent field of view for really tiny birds. But some of the bigger ones, not a problem, right? But hey, I was going to talk about that little Lumix announcement that we just got about the new ZS/TZ 300. Was hoping there'd be more than just that, but unfortunately no. So we're going to have to wait for anything further. But yeah, it was kind of underwhelming. And price-wise, like just a tad under $900 for that thing. That's a lot of money for a camera without a viewfinder. And it got me to thinking about what you might be better off doing if you've got that kind of money burning a hole in your pocket. You look at the Lumix G97, which is the update to the G95. That's a few bucks less than the ZS 300. And it comes with a lens, the Lumix 12-60 f3.5 to 5.6, which is a perfectly fine lens. And yes, it doesn't go to the 360 millimeter equivalent that the ZS 300 does, but in all honesty, if you're getting into photography, you probably don't immediately need a telephoto lens that goes further than 60 on a Micro Four Thirds camera. And again, that is 120 millimeter full frame equivalent. And if you do want longer than that, you can find the Lumix 45 to 150 millimeter lens for around $150. So you're not going to spend a whole lot more than that little compact. And I get it. You know, if you're traveling, maybe you don't want to carry a bigger camera than that. And so if you can, you know, if not having a viewfinder is something that doesn't matter to you, by all means, you know, I enjoyed the ZS200 when I had it. Unfortunately, it got dust on the sensor and I couldn't get it clean. And hopefully Panasonic has done something about that. Another alternative that you can do is if you're not going to stay in the Lumix system, but you want Micro Four Thirds, look at the Olympus/OM Systems OM10 Mark IV, which comes with a 14 to 42 millimeter lens. So that's 28 to 84 equivalent full frame. And that is actually quite a bit less than the G97. So you could do that. If you want to go to the OM5 Mark II, that gets up over $1,000. So it's a fair amount of money. Never use one. Looks like from the reviews, nice camera. So those are my thoughts on this. So today I'm just going to take a little walk, grab some photos. Still don't have any green except for moss. The mosses are waking up, but you know, see what else. Sometimes at this time of year you'll see the earliest little wildflowers starting to poke up, but we'll see. Actually, a few days back, over the weekend, I went to the Montrose Point Bird Sanctuary, which is right on the lakefront of Chicago on the north side. It's at the end of Montrose Avenue. And if you're in Chicago, that is, and you're into birds or bird photography, that is really one of the prime places to go, because this is a man-made peninsula that sticks out in Lake Michigan. It's all landfill. I shouldn't say landfill, that's garbage, but it's fill. But because it sticks out into the lake and there is a fair amount of migration that comes down Lake Michigan, a lot of birds will stop to rest. Of course, this time of year it's up Lake Michigan, but a lot of birds will stop to rest, and you can see birds that you wouldn't normally see at other times of the year around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you a little slideshow of those images and some video of that, and I might toss in what I get in here today. So anyway, I'm Todd Banner. Have a great day.